Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Graeme. Graeme, how are you doing today?
Not too bad, Qasim. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you. So, let me know about where you live and what you do.
Certainly, yeah. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I am a business founder, and I run a business that creates machines to sort trading card game cards.
Trading card game cards. All right. Awesome. So, can you guide me as an entrepreneur? I'm sure you must have many roles. You must have many responsibilities because entrepreneurs have to have many responsibilities. So, what are your core responsibilities?
Everything.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Well, the nice thing is because we are growing quickly and we are able to delegate more and more of the different tasks to people that are specifically experts in those areas, more and more my role is business development. So I do a lot of emails, a lot of calls, a lot of meetings, grant applications, looking at commercial real estate, the whole business development basket.
Awesome. So marketing is an essential for any business. So for marketing purpose, what you do, like you rely on the digital marketing or you rely on digital and offline marketing both?
We do not market. We are 100% word of mouth. We haven't spent any money on marketing or advertising since 2023. All of our sales are organic and just word of mouth referrals.
That's awesome. But how you were able to achieve this thing that your business is working on word of mouth? Like what was the secret ingredients behind the scene?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any silver bullet secret, but we launched our product back in 2021 using kind of like a grassroots Reddit article campaign and got a lot of traction there, fielded a lot of comments, got the word out about the product. We got a lot of orders in that first year. We had 50 orders for our product within the first 30 days. Unfortunately, it was right during the COVID-19 supply chain crisis, so it was very difficult to manufacture. And so we didn't actually build anything and ship anything out until later in 2022. And then we spent the last 3-4 years now just refining the product, making it more and more reliable, and it's serving a need in the industry. So the customers that use the product are happy with it, and they tell their colleagues, and their colleagues become customers. And that's kind of the hamster wheel.
Awesome, that's it. So, what is the eligibility criteria for anyone to become your customer?
We work primarily with brick and mortar card game stores or local game stores. And initially, when we launched, we required our customers to put down $1,000 security deposit. And then when the machine was ready to ship to them, we required a $2,500 additional security deposit. And then it was $650 per month rental of the machine. But then last year, we changed to a sales model, and now we sell the machine for $30,000 as in US dollars. And we require, I think, $5,000 down to get a machine. So you got to have some skin in the game. We don't just ship them out to anyone and everyone.
Yeah, makes sense. So, in terms of your short-term goals, how you are defining your short-term goals, what you are going to do within 3 to 6 months?
We are very rapidly trying to scale up our production capacity. We have a current backlog of almost 50 orders, and we're getting a tremendous amount of month-over-month orders. This year has been just insane for us. So the big push right now is to hire more staff and get our processes dialed in so that we can actually make machines on demand. We don't want people waiting multiple months to get one of our machines. We'd like them to get them immediately. So we started the year with 15 employees, and now we have 22, and we'll probably end the year with closer to 30.
Awesome. So, by the way, just from my understanding, how much time it takes to build a machine?
Certainly, yeah. So it's changed over time, and it also depends on what the current kind of demands on the production team are. But typically, one of our machines takes between 40 and 60 hours to build. And those are labor hours, so human hours.
Makes sense. Awesome. So just for the encouragement, can you share one of your biggest challenge that you faced ever in your entrepreneurship journey and how you were able to cope up with it?
Goodness. When I launched the business, I didn't come from money. I was just fresh out of university. I worked in oil and gas in automation for 5 years and kind of started my career there. And then I had the idea to start this business when I tried to sort through my personal trading card collection, and it was not a fun experience. Days, back-to-back 8-hour days of just manually sorting through these cards and that was kind of the light bulb moment when I was presented with this idea. I was like, oh, this is a highly automatable thing. So the biggest challenge was leaving full-time gainful employment and then working on this project and not taking a salary. I wasn't getting paid for 6 years until we actually got to the point where we're in production and generating revenue. So I have my wife to thank for supporting us through that time. And I don't know how I would have done it otherwise. It's one of those funny things where it's like, if you don't already have money, how do you fund a business without, giving the whole business away to VC or what else? But yeah, so I guess the biggest challenge was just funding. And I was very fortunate that my spouse was gainfully employed. She's a high school English teacher, and she was able to support us through the early years of the company.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Graeme, basically, I believe every entrepreneur, because every entrepreneur faces challenge every day. So, do you think there is any encouragement factor whenever you are facing a challenge? Is there any encouragement factor that you get some encouragement? You take it as an opportunity instead of a challenge, you take it as an opportunity. Is there any possibility? Or you think challenges are always challenges and not the opportunities?
No, I mean, certainly most challenges, if not all, are opportunities. And that's what entrepreneurship is. You see a challenge or something that could be improved in the world, and then you decide to commit yourself to overcoming that challenge or creating a product around it to make it easier for people. Yeah, I guess I would advise that anyone who's thinking of starting a business or is already on that path, you definitely want to surround yourself with other people who are doing similar things, because if you don't have a support network, it's a very lonely road, and you can definitely get in your own head. It can be, just a very isolating experience. So you want to make sure that you have a network of mentors or colleagues, people that are also doing similar things, so that you have people to commiserate with. Because, you don't want to be the lone wolf out there.
Makes
a long
sense.
road.
Yeah, makes sense. So, in terms of the success, how do you define the success for your business?
There's obviously the standard criteria by which people define success through. Revenue it's going to be one of those. Lucky for us, we're on an amazing trajectory right now. Doubled or better our revenues for 5 consecutive years, and this 2025 should be our 6th consecutive year. So that's wonderful. But then personally, I would say that the ability to kind of step away a little bit and start to spend more time with my family, and having all the right people in place to be able to continue running the business without my direct oversight, 60 hours a week, that's success, I think, is when something has grown enough that it's standing on its own legs. That's pretty exciting.
And how much is the part of your revenue or the profit in the journey of success?
Good question. It's hard to say that it doesn't play a very significant role, because, if there's no revenue, then there's no company. And so, I'd say it plays a very, very large role. We have a wonderful team of people that we've built around us, and we wouldn't be able to do that if we weren't generating revenue. So
this makes sense. No issues. So I'm not sure if this is connected with the success or not, but every company do have their own differentiators, because I think for every business there are competitors in the market. I'm not sure if your business is like a penetration in the market, because I think this is something that where you already have many competitors in the market. I'm not sure if you have. So when you have your competitors, do you care about your differentiators as well? Do you have any differentiators from the others in the market?
Oh, yes, significantly. We have a number of significant differentiators between our product and their competitors' products. So we were the 4th product into our market. There was Roca Robotics that launched in 2018. Then there was the Magic Sword that launched in 2019, based out of Italy. Roca was out of Colorado in the United States. And then there was Cardbot in 2020, which launched out of Australia. But all of those products, while they are good and they have their niche, they're generally quite slow. So our primary competitive advantage with our product is that we're more than 10 times faster than the other products out there. And then on top of that, we have a number of novel technologies which we've developed to further increase that technology moat. We can do things like quality assessment, foil card detection, and we actually applied for patents back in 2020. And we just last month got a notice of allowance from the U.S. Patent Office on that patent. So it took 5 years, which is exciting. So we'll finally have a patent by the end of this year. And we're just, we continue to innovate. We continue to develop more useful and novel features, and we just try and be the bleeding edge of our industry.
Awesome. So I'm not sure what is your tech stack, like how much you're using the technology. If you you can share a little bit insights about the technology that you are using behind.
Yeah, sure. Our product, our sorting machine is called the FizzBatch 9000, and it is effectively a piece of hardware that you can load up, let's say, 1,500 cards into a hopper. The card gets pulled by a set of rollers over a glass plate where it gets imaged by cameras. Those cameras are using computer vision to pick out relevant features of the card, OCR, so optical character recognition, some machine learning models to do symbol detection, template matching, and image hashing, which lets us make a match between the image that the cameras see and the images that we have in our database. Then we pull the metadata for a card from the databases that we have in-house, which include things like what region the card is from, who printed the card, the date it was printed, the color, prices from different online marketplaces. We have a full development team of about half a dozen software developers and computer scientists that flesh out the GUI for this product, as well as doing the database engineering, the machine learning aspects. It's our product is literally everything. We touch everywhere: hardware, we're software, we're embedded systems. So, which is great, but it means like everything that can go wrong with any of those systems, like we have to face those challenges. But it's also quite the thing to try and break into this market. So it's also a nice competitive advantage, just the difficulty level of the product itself.
Well, this is impressive that you are managing all these things. You're developing all these things with a team of around half a dozen. And this is great. Awesome.
We're happy with it. We're doing well.
It means your team is really working well. Yeah. Awesome. So, Graeme, I already got a few of the advices from your side that are pretty true. But still, do you have any biggest piece of advice that you can share with other entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. So the biggest piece of advice that I can give to any nascent entrepreneur or anyone who's considering going down this path of starting a business is you have to prove and validate that there is a market for your product. Because it is one thing to have an idea, and it can be a brilliant idea. It can be the greatest idea ever. But if there's not a market to receive that idea, then it doesn't matter how brilliant it is. Before I started down this path, and again, it's been a long path. I'm 10 years into this business now. But before I jumped in with both feet, I went and did the market research. I called 200 different stores all across Canada, all across the United States, and I talked to store owners to see if there was an appetite for an automation product. And only after I talked to 200 stores, and 90% of those people I talked to said that yes, this is something that they would buy, did I decide to actually go into this line of business. So that's my big piece of advice. Validate the market. Doesn't matter how good your idea is, you got to make sure that there's customers for it.
Yeah, this is a common mistake, I believe. Whenever someone is coming with an innovation or a new idea, they are not validating the market. I believe there are a lot of different ways to validate the market, but still, like maybe they do not put effort in this case and they do not validate their idea in the market, and that's why they face circumstances, different sort of circumstances. Yeah, like you can say in the time of 2009 to 2013, 14, the healthcare mobile applications were rare in the market, and at that time few players tried to penetrate in the market, but it wasn't the best time. But the companies who jumped in near COVID, they just bursted it. They earned a lot out of it, and they just became famous in pretty easily. Obviously, every business, no business is going to be a successful business overnight. Every business do have their a lot of energies, a lot of efforts behind the scene. I'm not saying like it was easy for everybody, but yeah, who touched the market at that time, it worked for them. Well, awesome, Graeme. Thank you. Thanks for your time. And please let our viewers know how they can reach you if they want to. You can share your website, your social media handles, or whatever you want to share.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, if you want to learn more about the company, it's TCG Machines. That's Trading Card Game Machines. You can find us online at tcgmachines.com. That's our website. And yeah, if you want to reach out to me on LinkedIn, that's probably a good place to find me. Otherwise, I keep a pretty low profile. Just working away. And I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old at home, so my kids keep me pretty busy at home.
That's awesome. That's a good thing, by the way. Well, Graeme, so nice of you. Thanks for joining us today. I really enjoyed the podcast, and we will stay in touch.
Right on. Thank you so much, Qasim. It's nice talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.